congrats to Loyola. They outplayed us tonight. It was they played really well and deserved to win. I just told the team, I didn't feel like we deserved to win throughout the game. I thought our heart showed, and maybe we have a chance there and fight back and make something happen. But Loyola certainly outplayed us tonight and deserved to win that game. So credit to them. Congrats to Charlie and his staff.
Do you think some of that was just their opportunism, whether it was on rebounds, a couple things like that?
No, I mean that would be unfair to say. They were really sharp early on offense, and we expected that. They're, watching them on film, and you look at their schedule. They play such a tough schedule early, and then statistically through the year, as the year goes on, their statistics start to improve. Facing off included, and that's a credit to Charlie. He doesn't duck anybody and plays a really tough schedule and handles being. I think 2-4 to start the season, and he does such a great job keeping his team together and convincing them to play towards the end of the year their best lacrosse, and you see it every year. So we knew they were going to be good, and offensively, watching them on film, as I was starting to say, they're excellent. I think they're one of the best offensive teams that we've seen. Mark does a great job with them. They're old, right? They've got some guys who seemingly have been around forever. And they play confidently and play really well together.
How big was falling behind 4-1 in your opinion? You were chasing the game.
Yeah, I felt like we were chasing the whole night. I think we got it to 1 at one point. If we could have tied it there, maybe it starts to shift. And I thought going to zone, Jon did a great job with that, and I thought that stopped them a little bit, allowed us to rest, and then that helped our man defense later in the first half by just giving us a rest. But going down early, it seems to be the thing we do right now. And that first quarter seems to be the thing that we got to figure out. Same thing last week. After 4-1, it's a heck of a lacrosse game. Same thing last week after going down to those guys up there. It was a heck of a lacrosse game. And that's what I'm proud of with these guys, is that we got a heart here. We've got guys who care and want to win and are tough as nails. But we have to play better if we want to beat a team like Loyola on this stage. It just comes down to that.
You didn't get a whole lot out of your first midfield, 1 assist total. Does that concern you, or do you think that's a key in this game?
Well, I mean, listen, we've got to have players step up in certain points, and I think they did a really good job keying on our defensive players. But the plan was to put the ball in Six's stick. He had a heck of a night. He had a heck of a night. So if you're putting the ball in Six's stick, the first midfield isn't going to touch the ball as much. I mean, he was unguardable at times. He probably thinks he could have had a couple of more, and I just told him walking out of the locker room, I said, what you've done, you're inspiring other players. Truly he is. I mean, there's guys who are watching what he does, and they're saying, all right, I can do that. I got to do that because that kid really wants to win. So that's a good thing. I'm really proud of him.
Well, Jon, do you feel you could have done more? I mean, you had 4 goals on 9 shots. That's a pretty good percentage, but did you feel like you could have scored a few more?
Yeah, I think any player would feel like they could make any of those shots, but they just didn't fall. And credit their goalie; he's a really good player. And we were shooting low, and he stopped like the first 8 low shots. So we had to figure him out. He was a good player.
Anything you would say offensively that you felt like maybe could have done better?
No, but I think we're really close. I know it's late in the season. It's too late to say that we're developing, but we're just so close to. Once we get past that point, we can be really dangerous as an offense. So,
Jackson, how do you feel like defensively you guys were able to hold up and adjust as the game went along, especially with the design?
I think it definitely ebbed and flowed. I'm looking at the score right here, and it's 4-1 in the first quarter. So that's, like Coach Amplo said, that's been the theme the past couple of weeks. It's taken a moment for our guys to settle in. As the game went on, I think that we matched up very well. They've got some great players offensively, but we've got some good guys on defense, and switching from zone to man back and forth, I think that definitely benefited us. But one thing that we've been keying on is the failed clears. So when there's a failed clear like we had tonight, or a mistake in transition, that really kills us on defense. So we need to clean that up.
So Joe, when you look at these numbers, you outshoot Loyola, you win a couple more face-offs, turnovers are even. What do you see as being the difference here? Because The stats don't necessarily show it.
Well, the one stat that stands out to
Ground
me,
balls.
Wags, is the ground ball stat. You know, we out face off them. You know, I don't know if a lot of those face off wins were ground ball play. Some of it might have been a violation or two. But you look at the third quarter, they out ground balled us 11-4, and the face off stats are 4. You know, we won. You know, they only picked up 4 ground balls there, so they kicked our tails off on the ground in the third quarter. And I felt like they won most of the 50-50 ground balls tonight. You know. And sometimes it's just the way it bounces, you know, but they're good when the ball's on the ground. I think we're good when the ball's on the ground, but they were better than us tonight, you know, and that's the stat that sticks out to me. And I agree with Jackson, you know, some of the failed clears, you know, the stats aren't terrible, but there was at least 2 where we have the ball in the box in a transition situation and we turn it over, you know. Jackson Bonnets, I probably should have called timeout there in the fourth quarter on the shot, but, you know, we were scoring some transition goals, so I wanted to give the kid a chance to make a play, you know, but he throws one way down the far end. A.J. Marsh picks up a ground ball and throws it away off the face-off win, so that becomes a face-off loss. It's plays like that. You know, Graham Parker, we clear it. He's a freshman. It's the first time he's playing, and instead of running, he throws the ball behind his back, and, you know, they turn it over. It's little plays like that that add up over the course of the night that give them more opportunity to play offense and us less opportunity to play offense, you know. So, and that's truly what it came down to. They just executed better in those plays. They didn't make those mistakes, and we did.
So Bucknell loses Army, which means you're in the tournament for sure. You're probably not going to be able to host, but other than that, you don't know where you're going to stand. Does that matter to you or no?
I mean, listen, it's great knowing that we've got more time with these guys and we have another chance to get out there and play in a very, very meaningful game. But the truth is we have to continue to improve. And I know it's the last week of the season, but there's a better game out there for us. And our guys have to rise to the occasion. So, yeah, it absolutely matters that we have another game to play. But we've got to focus on what's right in front of us, and that's Monday's practice to try and get this team better and playing at their best for next Friday night.